Toomas Hendrik ILVES, thank you for being with us. You are the President of Estonia, therefore a member of the European Union, and you've just been taking part in a discussion of Europe as a model for global governance. This is at a time when you've got the Euro crisis and the threat even that the European Union might fragment. So in what sense is Europe really a model for global governance?
Well, even at a less integrated level than we are today, it's something that lots of other areas aspire to achieve. So I think that clearly, yes, we do have problems, but clearly we're also one of the most successful, integration projects anywhere. Yes, we have difficulties, but and there are things that I think one can learn if you're about what not to do that we've done wrong. On the other hand, I would submit that it's the way we do things in Europe still is a model that others would like to emulate, and membership is something to which many countries still aspire to.
But one of the criticisms of the European Union, almost throughout its whole existence, has been the idea of a democratic deficit. Now, I know that you were a member of the European Parliament, but I suspect that not many of your constituents may have realized that.
Well, and my constituents did. That's how I got elected president.
Yeah.
But
you're the exception that proves the rule. I know that in Britain, for example, we have so many MEPs, but I don't think any of their voters know who the MEPs are.
Well, in Estonia, we do know. I mean, so that's. I mean, maybe it's.
But do you think the democratic deficit is a genuine problem, or not?
Well, I think it's also a little hyped. I mean, it's a convenient catchphrase. I think there are issues that could be better solved, and I think that part of the reason that we're in the crisis that we're in today comes from a lack of attention to the sensitivities of voters. I think this is especially true in Northern Europe, where there's an aversion to the profligacy that has been quite evident in the South, or a number of countries. And what is the result? The result are Eurosceptic parties gaining tremendous ground in elections in Finland, in the Netherlands, in the UK. Why is that? Is because I mean, there's a feeling that there are decisions being made that run against the fundamental spirit of the way people think things ought to be done. On the other hand, I do think that term, sort of the democratic deficit, is being spun too much. I think there's fairly good representation of countries in the parliament, and they make themselves heard. And I would say that from my own personal experience there, it was that in fact you can make a big difference even if you're from a small country.
Fair enough, but if you look at the summit resolutions now from Brussels, there is a greater pooling of sovereignty, and there'll be greater oversight by institutions which are not directly connected to the voter. Is there going to be greater integration in the future, or how do you see things evolving?
Well, certainly in our case, I think we supported very strongly the imposition of controls, since it's, I think, where our voters' concerns lie is the failure of countries to observe the rules that we all have agreed to. We've agreed to certain rules. I mean, there's nothing new actually in the rules. I mean, the percentages remain the same, 3% and 60%. It's just that since a number of countries chose to lie, cheat, steal, or whatever it is that they did, but in any case, not break the rules, give false statistics, and do those other things, that there's a fair bit of, I'd say, anger in a number of countries. Some of it is expressed in the rise of Eurosceptic parties. As I mentioned, in our countries, we don't have one yet, really, but we do have a fair bit of anger at this. I mean, the example that I bring is that, I mean, our parliament, with both the opposition and with the government parliamentarians, government parties, and one of the major opposition parties supporting the EFSF plan to help bail out or help Greece. 75% of the parliament voted in favor. But 75% of the population was against that. I think it showed courage on the part of the government and the opposition, I mean, which was really a big step. On the other hand, something like that is not sustainable. You cannot have a parliament. I mean, a parliament can make a decision that's unpopular once, maybe twice, but that a parliament that continuously passes legislation or takes obligations upon itself that are against the popular will not come. Those parliamentarians will not come back if it's too much of a.
President ILVES, on that sobering note, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.